Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles, and on this episode we're going to talk about the legendary Kevin Sullivan. Now, unlike most of my videos, I don't have anything planned out on what I'm going to say here. This is all off the top of my head, so if some of the facts come over wrong, I apologize. This is just my almost immediate reaction. I woke up this morning and I'm looking through social media, the alerts I get, and I noticed a lot of people are reporting on Kevin Sullivan passing. One of them being on my Facebook. I follow Fred Ottman, who you know as the Shockmaster, Tugboat, Typhoon, and he had mentioned it. I noticed that a few other wrestling sites had mentioned it as well, so it seemed to be pretty legitimate, which hopefully it is. Hopefully I'm not reporting on a hoax here. And if I am, I'll take the video down if we do find out that's true, and if it is, I'll be very happy that it is a hoax. I wanted to make this video much like I made a video when Terry Funk passed away, I made a video when Bray Wyatt passed away, and other guys that meant a lot to me personally. Now, most of you will probably know Kevin Sullivan, and most likely the picture that I'm going to put over here as like an example of who he is will be from his Taskmaster days in WCW as part of the Dungeon of Doom. Some of you may also remember him for his time in the Varsity Club, both in WCW as well, with Mike Rotundo and Dr. Death Steve Williams and a very young Rick Steiner. And while those were great times and he was great at both, there's so much more to the man. He was a backstage guy that was basically the booker for WCW in their most successful times. He's the guy that helped make all those storylines go. By all accounts and everything that I've ever heard of him, and from what I could see just watching interviews, listening to his podcasts, he was a highly intelligent man that just had a knack for pro wrestling. And for me, where this story is so personal is because Kevin Sullivan is one of the archetypes of wrestlers that I like the most, that I am drawn to the most. Your cult leader, your outside of the box kind of guy. I first got to know Kevin Sullivan through the Varsity Club, but through tape trading and seeing videos of him in his earlier days, I really got to love Kevin Sullivan from seeing his championship wrestling from Florida stuff. And the crazy things he was doing there, the quote-unquote satanic gimmick, although he never said he was a Satanist, the Prince of Darkness character, the way he brought things in, the stuff about the Cosmic Cookie, the Purple Haze, Luna Vachon, Woman was introduced there. His feuds with guys like Blackjack Mulligan and Dusty Rhodes are legendary, and he really was a pioneer and laid the groundwork for what people like Bray Wyatt would do later, what people like Raven would do later. There is a lot of similarity, just an updated version with those characters. The Raven character and the Kevin Sullivan character in CWF are not that dissimilar at all. If you take the fact that one is made in the 80s and one is made in the 90s, and you take away the 90s aspect or the 80s aspect, the core of that character is pretty much the same. Same with Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family, the original incarnation. The character and that core is the same. And I guarantee if you ask Raven, and I'm pretty sure that I've heard him say this, like I said, I've not done any research on this to make sure what I'm saying is correct, so if I do get some facts wrong, I am sorry again. But I'm pretty sure at some point I've heard Raven say that his character leaned heavily on Kevin Sullivan, that he took a lot of influence from him, and Jake Roberts as well, who's another wrestler that falls into that trope. And he's just a guy that I've always loved. Kevin Sullivan, I thought the world of him, even during the Dungeon of Doom days, which may be what a lot of people look at as the goofiest part of his career, and a lot of it is. A lot of it's a cartoon. I still could look at Kevin Sullivan and how he wrestled and what he did. His matches with Chris Benoit, unfortunately, his matches with Brian Pillman, his feud with Hulk Hogan in WCW as part of the Dungeon of Doom. When he got in the ring, it wasn't bad. And a lot of times, he made what would be a totally ridiculous setting and a crazy promo kind of believable. I guess in a long, rambling way, this is my way of saying thank you to the man. I mean, for a guy that's given me so much entertainment and helped contribute to something that I loved so long and just an amazing part of pro wrestling history, I just want to say thank you to Kevin Sullivan. And I know you could kind of tell by my tone it's kind of more somber and you probably heard my voice crack a couple times. I am trying to hold back emotions. It's harder to talk about something without your emotions coming out than just to think about it. And I know you understand that. So I'm going to cut this off a little bit short because I know I'm already rambling and I know I'm not making any points. This is just kind of my way to tribute him, to say thank you, and to put it out there. And hopefully some of you guys that may not know the history of Kevin Sullivan, look up Kevin Sullivan on YouTube, look up him in Florida, look up some of those promos. I know there's a ton on there. There's tons of matches on there. Look up his work with Mark Lewin with the Purple Haze. This stuff, it may not be your cup of tea, but it's absolutely groundbreaking and it's amazing. With all that being said, I'd like to say rest in peace to Kevin Sullivan. My thoughts, my condolences are to his friends and family and co-workers and everybody that's got to know the man and loved and respected him. My thoughts are with you. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and I appreciate you watching.